starting to be the time of year where my hair just gets so static. I don't know if you guys are experiencing this yet, but it's officially cold in New York. Today is like the first actually cold day. It's only about 8 degrees right now, but it is sunny and it's warm. I actually already stepped out earlier because I had to drop off a box, so it's not too bad, but it's definitely chillier than it's been. So I don't know, I'm kind of excited about it. I love this time of year. I'm ready for the fall season and just putting on layers and getting cozy. Anyway, welcome back to another vlog. Today's Tuesday. It's actually the Tuesday after Canadian Thanksgiving, so happy belated Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends. It was also a holiday here yesterday. It was Indigenous Peoples Day, so we just kind of had a chill day. I mean, Avery was still working, but I just had a chill day around the house, which was really nice. Today's gonna be pretty chill too. I just have 2 castings that I need to go to. The first one is a callback actually from a self-tape that I did this past weekend. And so I had to memorize some lines for that. So I was working on that this morning while I was getting ready. It's kind of funny because I actually started out when I was really young, when I was like 11 or 12, auditioning for commercials and short films and TV shows and stuff like that. It wasn't until a couple years later that I actually started doing modeling because I was just too young in the beginning. And so obviously over the years, I've had a handful of auditions, but nothing like on a weekly or even monthly basis, not even a yearly basis. But sorry, I'm like, my shoulder is hurting. I was so shy when I was around that age, like 11, 12, 13. And I would get so nervous in the audition room that I barely booked anything. My brother and I were doing it together at the time. And so he would go in, and I don't think he ever got nervous because he booked everything. He always got the call back, always got the job. And I was just so nervous. Like I could read the lines by myself, but going into a room in front of people, I would forget the lines or I would just fumble the audition. And so I think I only booked like a handful of jobs over those years. But even now, as an adult and someone who has so much experience like in front of the camera as a model and you know, filming video and stuff, I still get kind of nervous. It's kind of funny to experience this now as an adult because back then I feel like I beat myself up a lot for getting nervous and for what I would have said like was failing an audition. But now I'm like, okay, what is it that makes me nervous? Like, what is it that makes me lose control of my, not emotions, but like my composure, I guess. Obviously I'm enjoying these auditions because of the jobs that it's potentially offering, but I'm also just kind of enjoying this experience of like conquering this fear that I have, or just, maybe it's like a little bit of an insecurity, I don't know. But anyway, the first one is a callback that I'm excited about, and then the second one is just a regular modeling casting. But anyway, I need to get dressed. They requested me to wear something kind of specific, but I don't have any of the pieces that they asked me to bring or to wear. So I'm just gonna go in with something simple and hope for the best. Normally I would maybe go buy something, but I just didn't have the time to do that. I'm just gonna wear like a simple white t-shirt and jeans and a cardigan to stay warm. I just realized I unbuttoned my cardigan wrong, but I wanted to show you guys the star of the show, which is this leather jacket that I just received. I got it off of Revolve, and they are actually sponsoring this vlog. So thank you so much for working with me again. You guys know I love to work with Revolve, love to shop on Revolve. I can't remember if I shared this with you guys or not, but something that I was really looking to add to my closet for this fall and winter season was an oversized leather jacket. You guys know that I am not an impulse shopper per se, but once I have my mind set on a piece that I just need in my closet, I am on the hunt for it. And so I was looking and looking. I saw things that I liked, but nothing that I loved. And then I came across this jacket and I just knew that it was meant for me. It's this dark brown leather jacket. It has a lot of structure to it. You can see it in the shoulders and just the way that the jacket fits, but I do think it's gonna relax a little bit more over time. People are gonna get sick of me talking about it and wearing it, but it truly is just the dream piece and I could not be happier with it. This jacket is from the brand Girlfriend. They also do amazing denim. So I'm gonna link it for you guys below so you can check it out. I also have a couple of other pieces that I will show you guys throughout the vlog. I just couldn't resist. I had to show you guys this before I head out. So check out the links in the description box. I've also linked my favorites. I've added a bunch of my fall favorites to that list so you can shop those as well. And yeah, thank you so much Revolve for working with me as always. Okay, I'm back home. That callback took a lot longer than I expected, so I have to eat this really quickly. I have to leave again in 10 minutes, but I just made myself a little raw salad with what I had in the fridge. I really need to do groceries later today, but this will definitely hold me over for now. Just some cucumbers, tomatoes, feta cheese, and this chicken that I made yesterday. Okay, I just got back home. I'm changing really quick for my Pilates workout. I originally was planning on bringing my Pilates stuff with me and then changing into that at my casting, and then taking my time and walking over to the Pilates studio after, because it was kind of a long walk. It was like 45 minutes walking there, 45 minutes walking back, and there just weren't any trains or anything that I could take, and I didn't want to Uber. Oh my god, I almost dropped my camera. Didn't want to Uber both ways. So I was like, I'm just gonna walk. It's a nice day, whatever. I do this all the time. Because I was in a rush before leaving, I forgot my Pilates stuff here. And so I was like, shit, well now I need to walk really fast so I can actually have time to change. Luckily the casting went really quick, so I was able to make it home and change in time for the workout. That is kind of the update. I'm a little bit tired, but I did just have a nice coffee. So honestly, I don't really even have time to think because I just have to go over there. So I'm gonna push through the workout and then I'm gonna come home and chill. I have to work on some stuff for my brother's wedding tonight, but it's all this stuff that I can do for my bed, if you know what I mean. Just made myself a little dinner. I'm gonna have chicken again, which is, I don't know, I wish I had more variety, but I just don't, and I'm gonna wait until tomorrow to do groceries. I'm just gonna be having a homemade Caesar. I actually made the dressing myself. I used this mayo with olive oil, just like a slightly healthier alternative to regular mayo. It's definitely not perfect, but I don't know about you guys, the avocado mayo just does not taste good to me, so this is the best it's gonna get. And if I'm not having it every day, then I'm not gonna stress about it. And instead of croutons, because I don't have those, I'm just gonna have a piece of sourdough on the side. So chilly in New York today. I can't believe it. It is warming up again, starting tomorrow, which is nice because this feels a little cold. But yeah, I started off the day by cleaning the apartment, which you guys know me, always feels so good. And then I booked this massage because I started feeling tight in my upper back again. I don't think I ever mentioned this, but back in August when I started having my jaw pains, I went to get a massage. And the therapist actually told me that because of the way that I stand at work and sometimes the way that I have to like move my body at work, she said that I should get massages more often just to keep the muscles loose and keep the tension from going up into my neck and into my jaw. So I'm actually gonna walk. No, I'm not gonna walk this way. There's like a huge group of tourists during a tour. But last week I started feeling tight in my neck again. I was like, I really need to stay on top of this time, so I booked a massage at a new place and I really like it. I will link it in the description box, the exact location that I went, if you guys are living in New York, because the therapist that I had was very good and it was also very reasonably priced, which is nice. So yeah, all around very happy. But anyway, I'm off to meet Erin. She is back in New York for a month and I'm really excited to catch up with her. I think she might be here for a potential job opportunity, which is so exciting. Then I'm gonna go home. I have some work to do that I need to finish up today that I couldn't get to yesterday. And then tonight I'm going for dinner with Cindy, so it should be a pretty good day. Okay, we are gonna get ready together while I answer some questions that I've been getting from you guys over the last few weeks. These are mostly from under YouTube videos or in the comments. Oh no, my sharpener just spilled everywhere. All of a sudden I'm making a huge mess over here. I don't know how this happened. I came home from lunch. We ended up going to Ruby's and I took a shower because I knew I wanted to wash my hair before dinner tonight. And as soon as I got out of the shower, I feel like the massage effect hit me. And normally if I go for a massage, I usually book it in the evening because I know I'm gonna be super relaxed after. But today and tomorrow and just the rest of the week, I would not be able to do it in the evening just because we have a lot going on. And so I booked the earliest appointment that they had, which was 10 a.m. But when you get a massage that early, all you wanna do the rest of the day is lay in bed. And so after I got out of the shower, I was like, okay, I need to just lay in bed for 30 minutes. I actually got this book and I have kind of been in a reading slump probably since the spring. I was reading so many books at the beginning of the year. And most of them, actually all of them, were like in the self-help development category. So I think I kind of burnt out a little bit of that and just totally lost interest in reading altogether. And so I didn't really read throughout the summer, and now this is like the cozy season. I feel like I'm getting back into it, but I saw this book on my friend's story on Instagram and she said that she couldn't put it down. So I screenshotted it and got it on my Kindle last night. It's called None of This Is True. I hope you guys can see this. I'll link it down below. It is so good. I think I've already read almost like 200 pages. Started this last night. It's such an easy read, but also just such a page turner, and I almost want to like skip to the end so I know what happens, but I know I can't do that. I feel like you guys are very far away. Maybe that's better. First of all, thank you guys so much for all the video suggestions. I'm definitely gonna work on incorporating some more sit down videos because it seems like that is what you guys are wanting to see more of, like some of my videos that I used to do in the past. Although I think part of the reason why I switched to doing vlogs mainly is because those videos always did better. Not that it's necessarily about the views, because it's really about what I like to film in combination with what you guys like to see, obviously. But at the same time, I don't want to be putting out videos that only do well for a certain type of person. So that's kind of why that changed over time. You guys know I love to talk about different topics, deeper topics, so I'll try and incorporate that more going forward. Okay, one of the things that you guys wanted to know about was what my current workout routine and current diet or food lifestyle kind of looks like. Even after so many years, this is still one of the most frequently asked questions. When it comes to my workouts, I am mainly doing Pilates right now. I'm pretty much only doing Pilates, and it's been that way for probably about 2 years now. Maybe a little less than that. And it's funny because it wasn't something that was really a conscious decision for me. Because you guys know I loved boxing and I still love boxing. And I think actually in the new year, I want to prioritize finding a new boxing coach or finding a new gym even, and just doing it alongside my Pilates workouts. It was really more about the gym that I was going to at the time. I'd been going there for so long, and unfortunately, the type of boxing that I was doing when I first started there versus the boxing that I was doing towards the end just wasn't the same anymore. And I didn't feel like it was worth the money that I was paying for it. The other thing that I noticed when I was boxing a lot is that I really felt the toll on my body, in the sense that I was more tired and I also needed to eat more. This is like, not if I was doing it once or twice a week, but if I was doing it 3 or 4, 5 times a week. And that was only like a 6-month period of time where that was happening. I noticed that I then had to compensate more for resting and more in terms of eating. And I just feel like that wasn't the right fit for me either. And so I really wanted to find something that was a little bit more balanced. And I think boxing is one of those things that is really great for your mental health, I think, but it's also mentally stimulating and challenging, because no matter how good you are and no matter how quick you get the combinations down, there's always something to learn. And I realized that I really enjoy that in a workout. That's one thing that I kind of miss, but I also feel like Pilates is like that in that sense too, because you can always make it harder. You can always make it more challenging. The other thing I love about Pilates is that it's lower impact. And so where I felt a lot more tired with the boxing, I don't feel that way. I feel a little bit more balanced, I guess. I don't feel like I need to eat more. I don't feel like I need to rest or sleep more, you know? I feel like it's something that I can do multiple days a week. Still feel really challenged, and I love that there's the resistance component to it. Just so everyone's clear, the type of Pilates that I'm talking about is Legree Pilates, and so it's not the traditional reformer, it's the megaformer. So I go to this place called Body Rock. I guess to answer the question, because it was more about me filming more of my workouts, it just gets really repetitive because I'm essentially repeating similar workouts over and over again. And 2, it's really hard to film in a studio in New York, like a Pilates studio with 15 other women. I find it really uncomfortable, and I also find it really disrespectful. It's one of those things that's like, it would be better for the vlog for me to film it, but it's just not something that I feel comfortable doing. And so that is probably why you're seeing less of my workouts than you maybe did in the past. Oh yeah, the other one was about what I eat in a day videos. I know I used to film a lot of those too, and I just think that I don't really even know what the answer is, to be honest. I don't know if there's a good answer. I think what happened with the what I eat in a day videos is they kind of started to feel disingenuous, because I would have to plan them out and I wanted them to be creative. And it's not that it wasn't fun for me, but realistically, I just kind of throw things together, and maybe that is something that you guys want to see. I don't know, maybe I just need to include that more, or get over this idea that everything needs to look good or be interesting and be new all the time. We keep things really simple. Like if I'm cooking for the 2 of us, it's either a potato and like green beans or zucchini or kale or broccoli rabe in the cast iron, and like chicken or salmon or steak. A protein, a veg, and a carb. So if you guys want to see really simple, maybe even boring, it's what some people would consider boring meals, then let me know. But that's honestly kind of the reason why I stopped filming it, because it was like another thing that I had to think about while I was filming it, and it also just didn't really feel that genuine, because realistically, if I wasn't filming it, then I probably would have maybe made something more simple. That's not to say that those videos are not real and it's not what I would eat. It's just maybe filmed on a day where that's all I have to do that day, and I can think about every meal and prep every meal, you know? Whereas in my regular working life, like that's probably not what I would do. Okay, I also just totally forgot to do my brows. And I'm almost done, so we're gonna do my brows. The last question that I really wanted to answer was in regards to a video that I made a couple weeks ago, where I was kind of talking about how I have this like newfound confidence. What else did it say? This belief that I can truly do and achieve everything I want. That conversation that I had. This person's asking like how I got to this place and how I did that, and how I found this feeling inside of me, essentially. See, I already finished my brows. this whole time I was thinking about how to answer this question, because it's really hard to answer your own internal process. I think a lot of this for me has to do with my self-worth and understanding my worth in terms of my career and the things that I'm capable of doing. Some people inherently understand that better than others, and this is me being super candid. I don't think that I had that, and it took me a very long time to understand that. It's not something that people need to feel sorry about. It's not something that I blame myself for in any way. I think that is a huge part of my journey and a huge part of my 20s, and it's probably gonna make sense someday. I think it already does to me, because now I understand what that feels like, and I understand how important it is to believe in yourself. But how did I get there? I think there are a couple things that have to do with it. The first one is just getting to a point in your life, in my life, where I saw that I had a number of years until I wanted to maybe change the pace a little bit, aka start a family. And that does not mean that I have a shelf life. That does not mean that any woman has a shelf life, but there is a life before and a life after, and I do not think that that is going to be the end of my career whatsoever, but it is a time period that I want to take advantage of, and I think it arrived perfectly on time. I do not think that I was passive or anything like that. It was just a feeling that I had within myself that it was time to take it up a notch and be a little more aggressive and be a little bit more direct in terms of what I wanted. A lot of that is also just a little bit of like faking it until you actually start to believe it. Sometimes you have to tell yourself something 20, 30, 40, 500 times until you actually believe it. And I think that that for me really worked. It's like, why can't it be me that does that, you know? And for some people, this is gonna come across maybe a little arrogant. I do believe that if you don't believe in yourself, how are other people supposed to believe in you, you know? And so I think part of that for me was taking inventory of where I am right now. What are the things that I want to do? What are the things that I have not yet done that would make me feel really proud and really satisfied when I do get to that point in my life where I maybe want to change gears, or I want to slow it down a little bit just for a few years, you know? Taking inventory of that, taking inventory of the people who are helping me get there or supporting me there. Are they the right people? Are they putting in the work that I believe they should be putting in? And am I putting in the work that I should be putting in? You know, like, I think it's really easy to put the blame or put the pressure on other people, but really we should look at ourselves first. And I do think, like, inherently I'm very in tune with the self, and I'm so curious. And for some people that might be kind of arrogant and weird, but like, I want to understand why I am the way that I am, and I love that in other people. And so I think that that definitely helped me in this. But it was a lot of like me looking at myself, being honest with myself, like taking inventory, and also just being like, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose by really starting to believe that I am good enough, like that I am that girl? And it's gonna feel over the top, and it's gonna feel weird and unnatural. And I say unnatural because I think I was raised in a way where like modesty and humility is very important, and I do believe that being modest and being humble is important. But on the other hand, it's like, what do we have to lose by believing in ourselves and being a little confident and saying like, you know what, I do deserve that because period, you know? And obviously you have to put in the work. And I know that that phrase is so overused. You have to put in the effort, and you have to want it, and you have to be consistent. I think that that's the biggest thing. It's like, it's not gonna happen overnight, you know? I don't know if that's a good answer, but that's the best way that I can explain it for me. It was just, and I feel like this happens to me over and over again in my life. It's just these inner feelings that come up for me where it's a little uncomfortable at first, but I just have to listen closely to what it's telling me and move through the feeling. This is gonna sound so woo-woo to some people, but that is truly what it is. It's I get these signs and I get these feelings, and I have to listen to them. And I'm very lucky in the sense that I have like peer coaches in my team who I talked to about these things, and I do this on a weekly basis, and I'm so in tune with that way of thinking now too that I can really process a lot of those things pretty quickly. And the other thing that I forgot to mention is I also don't want to feel any regret. You know, I don't want to get to this point where I feel like I'm just kind of being passive about things and just letting things happen. And it's tricky because a lot of this is about relinquishing control and just letting things unfold, but not about the things that you have power over, if that makes sense. For example, you can't control an outcome, but you can control how you show up. I can't control whether a client's gonna book me, but I can control how I show up that day. From the moment that I wake up, am I in a good headspace? Did I start my day being grateful for what's around me right now? Do I start my day with a feeling of opportunity? I recognize that there's a level of privilege in being able to feel that way every day. I know that not everybody feels that way. And I truly am grateful that I wake up every day. And so I recognize that that is not the reality for everybody, but if I can change, like truly, and I know that's hard to convey on camera, if I can change the way that I felt about myself like 5-6 years ago and be here, you can change anything. Now another thing is coming up for me. I feel like I could talk about this forever, but a lot of this is also, I think, unlearning that you're not too much. Like sometimes I would want to ask something or put myself in a certain position, and I would not do that because I don't want to be too much or I don't want to be annoying. And now I'm like, I don't care if I'm annoying. Like if this is annoying, then so be it. You know what I mean? At least I'm putting myself out there and I'm putting my best foot forward, and even just unlearning those really negative perspectives and ways of thinking. And I think that comes from like childhood maybe, and I'm not the only one that has that, you know, but just unlearning this idea of not being too much and not wanting to take up too much space. Like send the email no matter how uncomfortable. Get comfortable sending uncomfortable emails. Get comfortable asking annoying or what you deem to be annoying questions. And I promise you, over time it will feel comfortable, and you'll look back at yourself, you know, a couple months or a couple years ago and think, oh my God, I'm so glad to be here. You know, I'm so glad to be in this place. Anyway, I should probably get started on my hair. It's gonna be the end of this Q&A. I will definitely do more of these in the future, and just feel free to like ask me stuff in the comments or send me a message if you don't want it to be public. Shoot me a message, and we can talk about this stuff more. Okay, I'm just about finished getting ready for dinner, but I wanted to show you guys the rest of my Revolve order before I head out, starting with these jeans. These are also from Girlfriend Denim, so the same brand as my leather jacket. These are the Sarah. They're high-rise straight leg style, and I think they might just be my favorite pair of jeans, to be honest. I have these in another wash, in a light, like a lighter than this even, with a raw hem. And I really love them. I think they're a great summer jean, but I wanted something that was a little bit more of a medium wash for the fall winter season, and something with just a regular hem. So I got these and I am in love with them. I think the fit is so good. I got these in a size 25, which is probably, like at this point, is probably my normal size. Sometimes I do a 26, but I'm really glad I got these in a 25 because they're 100% cotton, and I do think that they're going to loosen slightly and kind of mold to your body the way that 100% cotton jeans do. I love these. I'm trying to get the true color of the jeans for you in this terrible lighting, but I love the wash of these. I also love the fit because I think that this is just a timeless style. It's not something that's super trendy. This is the type of jean that you can just wear forever. It goes with everything. Okay, so there's the jean, and then I also have this amazing belt. Like, look at this buckle. So good. The only thing that I didn't anticipate was how thick it was going to be, so it doesn't fit through the loops on this jean or any of my other jeans, so it's not going to work with this outfit, but I think it might be a blessing in disguise, and it's going to force me to kind of play around with all my other stuff. So stay tuned for that. You know what, actually, while we're here, I'm going to do a boot highlight because these are the ones that I got a couple vlogs ago, and I'm just in love with them. I think they're so cool. Just like a fun twist on a black bootie, and they're very versatile. I've worn them with blue jeans like this, but also with like a black leather pant, a black trouser. So even though they're a little bit different, they can still go with so many different looks. I'm gonna end off this vlog before I head out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.